What are the stages that an ex goes through during no contact? My name is Coach Adrian. I'm a love and relationship coach, and I specialize in helping people rebuild broken relationships. Whether you're listening to us on our podcast or watching this video on YouTube, welcome. Usually, individuals that follow us have some level of understanding as to what a process of breakup recovery looks like. And this video, I will assume, will come after having listened to a lot of our content. So, it is important for me to convey to you the fact that every single breakup is unique. And every ex has a unique personality. And so the way that they navigate the breakup process and the no contact process will vary and differ. But after having done this for years, having coached thousands of individuals, there are some commonalities that I think are important for you to understand. Regardless of their personality, regardless of the breakup itself, giving space to your ex will have an impact on them, and it will have an impact on you. Initially, after a breakup, as you start to go into no contact, an ex may start to find relief and a sense of independence. Usually because you have been very pushy, usually because you're trying to convince them not to do this. And so not hearing from you can bring about relief. There are instances where that's not the case, where individuals have been able to avoid making mistakes, to take the high road, and to really take it in stride. And even in such cases, I find that there's usually a feeling of relief that it's done, that they can now have the freedom and the independence to go about starting this new chapter of their lives. This is especially true if you have been overly needy or dramatic. Now, your ex is probably focused on everything that they could gain after the breakup, and that's why they're feeling this way. And so it is important for you to make sure that you continue to give them the space and time so that they can quickly realize that they're not necessarily happier without you. During no contact, they will start to be able to experience that feeling. After a while, the next stage that they will go through is a stage of curiosity. They will want to know why you're not reaching out. What are you up to? Have you moved on? Are you dating someone else? Do you still care about them? And that can be a good thing. And oftentimes you can start to receive some shit tests where they're messaging you, asking you for administrative things, asking you simple questions that they can find the answers to as a way to get data points, information as to how you feel. If they could still get you back, will you still engage with them? Are you still connected to them in some ways? Usually that closely is associated with a stage of starting to miss you and the relationship itself. And even though your significant other will very, very rarely come out and tell you that they miss you, my experience has been that in most cases, exes do miss you and what you have to offer. Unless you ended on terrible terms and your ex had to really again and again and again ask you to not reach out to them before you entered no contact, the odds are that they are going to miss you. They've built certain habits that they've come to you, for certain moments of weakness or validation. And they're also going to start to feel like, they've actually lost you. It is possible that the next stage that your ex goes through is a stage of anger, a stage of jealousy. It is true that not all exes go through these same stages the same way. Sometimes anger and jealousy can come before the curiosity element kicks in. But it's important for you to have some sense of the different stages that your ex is going through so that you are not surprised when you start to get a certain type of behavior out of the person that you love most. So once your ex has gone through these different stages of curiosity, missing you, jealousy, trying to trigger you to get a certain sense of validation, it is often the case that your ex will start to really remember the good, the connections, the way that the relationship was in its entirety, not just when things started to fall apart. And they may wonder if they're ever going to hear from you again during the stages of no contact. So they can go from feeling relief and a sense of independence to going to the point where they actually miss you, they remember positive aspects of the relationship and wonder if they ever will hear from you again. And the point of all of this is to provide you with some level of reassurance and an understanding of what may be going on in your ex's head as you decide to navigate through the different stages of no contact. But it's also to help pave the way, to remind you that ultimately what matters is you, what you can control, what you focus on, how you're able to grow, and how you're able to evolve, because ultimately that will be the determining factor in your ability to create something new. And that's what I want you to get out of this content. Really, it's about your ability to focus on you, to not be surprised by what your ex does or may do, but ultimately for you to continue to focus on what you can control. And I provide you with ways to do that on our YouTube channel, in coaching sessions, and through our free trainings that are always accessible one click away in the description. So, as always, thank you for tuning in, and see you soon for more exciting content and to continue to walk this path together. Take good care.